Do you know what a wallflower is? Were you ever in high school dance, along the side of the gym, or where they have the dance in the social hall, or wherever they had the friggin' dance? There was a line of folding chairs, at least when I was in school, junior high school and high school. And you'd ask someone to dance, or they'd ask you to dance, or they wouldn't ask you, or you wouldn't ask them. The people that sat there alone and never got asked, it's kind of referred to as a wallflower. There's nothing to do with Bob Dylan's son's band, Jacob. This is a contest entry for Patrick, the vinyl archivist. Now, I'm not sure that's actually true, because I know the archivist. I know the real archivist. And she doesn't make videos. But we'll give it to Patrick, because he says so. Self-proclaimed vinyl archivist. I don't think he has a degree in archival studies from the University of Texas, but so be it. He's been a staple in terms of watching and contributing to the vinyl community for a long time, but only recently started making videos, and I'll link it below. He's having a contest here, and it's about wallflowers. What's also interesting about Patrick, apparently he has a massive collection. He's really into needle drops, high-end recordings, high fidelity, analog to digital conversions, and all that stuff that I don't even understand what it is. I know I do understand, but I don't know. So I'm rambling. Okay. I picked one album. He wants you to pick a wallflower. That album that maybe an artist that is famous, that you love, that you know, but there's that one album, and that not a lot of people know about, or roll off the tip of their tongues when they're talking about their record. And I'm going to do probably one of America's greatest songwriters since the 1960s. It's not Randy Newman, who's one of the great American songwriters, but it's Paul Simon. Simon and Garfunkel, Paul Simon. Hey, I'm a boomer, but in 2006, first I'm going to show you the album I did not pick, and because it leads into this album. In 2006, Paul Simon made this album, which I only have on compact disc, called Surprise. Beautiful record. And it is self-produced by Paul Simon with help of Brian Eno, who did digital samples, sonic landscapes. It's how he's credited. So it really opened up the eyes and ears of Paul Simon and to produce things in a different way. But cut 5 years later, Paul Simon makes this album. So beautiful, so what? So beautiful, so what? It is produced by Phil Ramone, who had worked with Simon & Garfunkel before, worked with a lot of, I don't know if he was a staff producer at Columbia, but produced a lot of records on Columbia. Somewhat of a slick producer, but a really, really well-known producer. Him and Roy Halley worked on like Simon & Garfunkel records as well. This record is gorgeous, and it's really different. A couple things. It has a feel of West African music, somewhat of guitar playing. You know how West African guitar players like Ali Farka Touré, they do sort of a rhythmic thing rather than a really beautiful folk pick style that Paul Simon usually does. It's really nice. There's not a lot of heavy bass on this record, normal electric bass playing like you'd have in a rock band. It's more baritone guitars playing the bass. There's not a lot of actual full drum sets. There's a little bit of that, but there's more other percussive sounds in here. There's bells and harps and some background vocals. Now, the opening track, to me, is one of the most successful tracks. And Paul Simon, I think, learned from Brian Eno on that album, Surprise, by doing some sonic landscapes, doing some overdubbing of sound effects and other sources, dubbing in. The opening Sun would be a great modern Christmas song. It's called Getting Ready for Christmas Day. and it's very upbeat, very rhythmic, very soulful, in a way, very gospel. There's a lot of gospel, in the white Jewish gospel way, if that makes any sense. But that song is great because he samples a 1941 sermon within it, and the sermon, the preacher is saying, get ready for Christmas Day," and he's pulling from that. That's sort of the basis of the song. I think it was one of the first songs recorded on this album. Paul Simon recorded a lot of the album, starting with the guitars and playing with the guitars and doing rhythms, and then did it on his home studio in Connecticut. There's some beautiful rhythms. There's some soft ballads, and Paul Simon's voice is stunningly beautiful on this and gorgeous. He still sounds amazing. So Beautiful, So What by Paul Simon. I mean, I'm not going to go through every single song, but to me, this is the Wallflower in Paul Simon's catalog and his discography. It's a gorgeous record. You could almost, even though there was Run Record in between this and this by Paul Simon, an album, this definitely led to this, and Paul Simon's eyes opened and he experimented. Still has that sound of international recording and pulling from other countries and other musical genres and other cultures, but it's really great. Again, the rhythm, the guitars, the overdubbing of guitars, even the other instruments added on, and percussion. Beautiful album. So thanks, Patrick, for suggesting Wallflower, a Wallflower album. I was so tempted to pull a bunch, but I thought, I haven't concentrated on one album in a while here, so this is Paul Simon's So Beautiful for What. It was the first album I think he did after he left from Warner Brothers after so long, and this was on Hear Music in 2011, 9 years ago. Mazzy loves you.